shot. This is important. We got royalty here tonight, folks. This gentleman was drafted in the 3rd round by the San Francisco 49ers. Team called the Green Bay Packers. He's a college All-American. He's Southeastern Conference Offensive Lineman of the Year his senior year. He blocked for Herschel Walker. Some of you guys know him as a football player. Some of you guys know him as an MMA fighter now. Some experts say he's the best lineman in 49er history. He's elected to the State of Georgia Hall of Fame, and most importantly, or not most importantly, he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. And the most important thing, he's also a believer in Christ. He's a Christian. Let's give a warm welcome to the guy McIntyre.
I really do, I envy you guys, and I shouldn't envy people, but I had to give up basketball. I've gotten kind of old, and my back is getting bad. It's got bad. It is bad. And I'm actually going to be turning 50. You know, I was 50 years old. That's 50 years old. Goodness gracious. And I had to stop playing basketball, and I love basketball. I used to watch my mom play basketball when I was a kid, and she used to play for the YMCA. And I think I love basketball more than I love football, but I didn't never get any taller than I am now, and I'm starting to shrink. And I couldn't dribble very well either. So for a 6'3" guy that didn't have any handles, the only way I could go was high school, and that was about it, you know. But I really enjoyed it. I love playing basketball, and I just envy you guys being able to run up and down the court. But also, I come here tonight just to share a little bit about myself. As much as I love basketball, you know, I like coming out and being a part of sharing my testimony. Who goes to school here? How many of y'all go to school? When I was walking in, I noticed that it was a map of the United States painted on the ground. And I grew up way over there, down there, on that end, Georgia. You close with yeah, right? But I was very close to Florida. I lived on the border of Florida and Georgia. Tallahassee, Florida, and Thomasville, Georgia, right there on the border. And I never thought in my life that I would be in California. Never did. And I always dreamed about it. I used to look at SC football and dream about playing for the Trojans back in the days. But and when it came down to going, I wouldn't wind up going to the University of Georgia. But I love playing football. I played in high school, and I was a pretty good football player. I also I grew up in a Methodist church, and it was kind of like understood that you knew God when you grew up in the church. And as I went along, I became pretty good at being a football player. But something happened when I was about the age of, I'll say, maybe around about 7th grade. So 7th grade, that's about what? 10, 11 years old, somewhere in there. 12, 13. Well, what happened was, I was at a little birthday party with some people, and the South has some strange little cultures too. And I was kind of a shy kid, and the person that was giving the party for their family, I knew him very well, and one of the adults introduced me to alcohol. So around the 7th grade, I had my first drink of alcohol. And I can remember, even in the 8th grade, I started smoking marijuana. And I kept doing that, but I managed to be still a pretty decent athlete. I went on to the 9th grade and, pretty good. Then in my junior year, my sophomore year, I got moved up to the varsity football team, and I was still pretty good, still, kind of doing those things. So still drinking, started drinking a little bit more, started smoking a little bit more. But I had stopped going to church probably around that age too, because if you grew up in the South, there's some funny customs, like I said. Back in the 60s, early 70s when I grew up, if you went to church in jeans or tennis shoes, you were looked at really funny. Matter of fact, I don't think they even allowed, if you even had on jeans or tennis shoes and you came to the church door, they would politely escort you out. So if you didn't have church clothes, you didn't go to church. And I was getting big, and my foot was probably about size 10 and a half, and my mom we were poor, and I couldn't afford any church shoes and church clothes, so I kind of stopped going to church. But I still kept playing football, got a little better. I was all this and that in my 11th grade year, and then I was one of the top 11 guys in the state of Georgia in my senior year. But I also still was smoking marijuana and drinking. And I managed to kind of manage that, I don't know how. And then I got recruited to the University of Georgia. I was a blue chip All-American guy. And I can remember my first summer camp. I was roommate with this Caucasian guy. He was from South Georgia named Keith Hall. And, I used to see Keith, we used to come to the room, because we were the only one at camp. We were doing like two-a-days, when it was hot and humid and stuff. So we were doing two-a-days. And I used to see Keith coming into the room, and he used to be on his knees praying. And one night, after we had came in from lunch, from dinner, Keith had got up and he asked me, he said, "God, hey," I saw him get up and praying. He said, "God, can I talk to you for a minute?" And, it wasn't nothing going on. There was nowhere to go. I mean, there was nobody on campus other than the football players. They're sweating in the hot heat, the 90-degree heat and the 110 humidity, in Georgia. I don't know if y'all tried that something.